First of all, Khalil, congratulations for being part of GMA Artist Center.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna. Super appreciate it po.
If you don't mind, matagal mo ba itong kinontemplate? Matagal mong pinag-isipan? Or gradual lang nangyari?
Siguro to give more context to how things transpired or how I eventually, led to the decision of moving to GMA. This actually was on my mind for a long time na. It started back in December of last year. In passing lang na natanong sa akin kung may interest ba akong lumipat. Pero dahil I was a contracted artist of my previous network, I couldn't make any decision, and I was also very busy with everything that was on my plate during that time. Nagsimula talaga yung talks. If I'm not mistaken, I think bumalik ulit yung interest in around Feb to March. So dun din kasi nag-expire yung contract ko with my previous management. So nitong panahon na to, mas nag-develop na yung talks. We were initially planning a meeting just to touch base and get to know each other muna and without any commitments. Pero inabot ng pandemic noong March. So, ang tagal niyang natenga, actually. Well, siguro naging way na rin siya para mapag-isipan ko ng mabuti, para mas, maisip ko yung decision ng mas maigi. Pero tumagal siya until around end of May to June dahil ang daming nangyari po. So, everything froze. So, wala masyadong movement sa lahat ng bagay. And due to the circumstances, it had to be delayed until around June. So nung June was around June, hindi ako nagkakamali, yung first meeting namin via Zoom na lang. Hindi na kami nakapag-meet physically, via Zoom na lang. So at that point, I was keen in signing with Artist Center. But I wanted to know what's on the table. I wanted to know what they think of my direction, my goals, and my passions in life. And thankfully, when we touched base, they shared the same sentiments. They also saw me as the person that I would want to be, or in terms of career path, yung gusto kong achievements in the future. Ay parehas din ang iniisip nila. So, yun, we met a couple of times after that. Naging issue na lang yung timing kung kailan yung kasi syempre they wanted and thankfully they wanted a launch, a kind of pagkamalaking launch na talagang hindi ako sanay. Pero nung ni-launch nila ako, sobrang pasasalamat ko for them. I was welcomed in this manner, something that I will never forget. So yun, medyo matagal siya pero tumagal lang talaga dahil dun sa pandemic.
What's on the table daw?
Well, actually, parang what happened nun, kasi mga initial meetings, puro lang, mas getting to know you lang, di ba? Titingnan, syempre, nagkakapaan kung mag-fit ba yung personalities or yung vision ko sa career ko. So, they wanted to know what I want muna for my career. So, I expressed it to them na in the coming years, I would like to focus on acting dahil acting ang main bread and butter ko. Kumbaga, pagdating sa acting, malakas yung fire ko for it eh. So, I want to keep learning and keep, working as an actor just to, my ultimate goal kasi is to really be considered one of the best to ever do it. Simply because I love it so much. So, yun. Kung nagkukwentuhan na kami about it, of course, they also mentioned the opportunities that I would be given or possibly given in the future, in my future with GMA. Sobrang support sila sa akin sa career ko in film, which is also very important to me dahil I'm taking care of my filmography. And they would like to take care of it as well. Pagdating din sa TV, same kami ng thoughts and opinions. Then I told them also na in the future, kasi right now, I could consider myself a student of filmmaking dahil I started my journey back in 2016. So I'm 4 years into learning the ropes, the foundation of screenwriting and directing. I have a long way to go, pero sabi ko, and they're aware of it, na nagsusulat din ako at nag-direct din ako. So sabi nila, hindi malayong magtrabaho ka bilang isang creative sa GMA, and if you're interested in doing some work as a creative, then the doors are open also. So that's another thing that I loved, or the one big factor also that I considered. Also, ako kasi I admire their public affairs sa GMA, yung mga pinoproduce nila mga documentaries. Isa yun sa mga pinapanood ko at sinusuportahan ko dati pa. So, sabi ko, I'm also keen, not naman as a journalist talaga, dahil wala naman akong credibility pagdating doon. Pero pangarap ko din kasi magkaroon ng parang culinary travel show which explores the cultures of different people, different ethnicities and nationalities. So, yun, express ko din yun. Tapos sabi nga nila na, oo, that's something that public affairs could also, in the future, baka, malay mo, makamit mo yung pangarap mo yun. Kasi, I grew up kasi watching, daddy ko kasi sobrang fan ng mga ganun. Medyo seryosong mga docu-travel style, parang sila Anthony Bourdain. So, lumaki ako yun yung mga napapanood ko. Sabi ko, one day sana, makapagsulat at makapag-host ako ng gano'n. So, yun. Those are just some of the things that we talked about during the first initial meetings. Also singing. Pagkanta, yun naman medyo naiwan ko sa career ko, pero they also expressed that they don't want to, ayaw nilang iiwan ko totally dahil naniniwala din sila sa talento ko bilang singer. And GMA would be able to provide the platform sa akin of singing. So, yun.
Pinirmahan mo?
Ano po?
Ad management, ang pinirmahan mo.
I don't think I can disclose it based po on the contract. Pero long-term siya. It's a long-term contract.
Nga, kasi sa dami ng plano mo, ang dami mo energy.
Yeah, long-term contract siya. So, I think naman, hindi naman sila yata stricto. Pero I haven't confirmed kasi if I can disclose that info. Pero long-term siya. So, you'll be seeing more of me sa Kapuso Network in a long time.
Interesting to see your flavor sa mga documentaries ng GMA.
Yeah. Salamat. Sana sa future.
Tapos, pinost ka na you thank Gabby for being with you in this journey. So, siya yung siyempre unang-unang nakaalam ng mga thoughts mo, mga plano mo.
Yes, of course. Si Gabby all throughout, the time when I was contemplating and, in the middle of this decision, she was there to really help me and guide me. She was never pushy. She would always say, at the end of the day, it's your decision. I'm just helping you in terms of weighing things, the pros and the cons and, the benefits of, your decision, if ever. Pero sabi niya, she just always showed her 100% support in whatever decision I came up with. And from the very start, she knew, of course, she was kind of the bridge dahil she connected me to the right people to talk to sa GMA since wala naman akong kilala. So she was able to bridge me to them. Kumbaga parang endorse me to be able to meet with them.
I hope you don't mind, but pero sinong pinagpaalaman mo sa kabila? Did you personally?
Yung parang goodbye talaga? My handler, si Tita Lulu Romero, she was, again, also one of the people who supported me super. And she was with me also throughout the whole decision. She arranged, of course, the meetings with upper management. Pero ang nakapagpaalam ako kay, of course, kay Mr. M at kay Direk Lauren, the new head of Star Magic. So sila, nakausap ko sila. They heard my thoughts, and they were also very, very supportive with whatever endeavors I've set for myself in the future, and they completely understand then. So yun, the one thing din kasi that I was very particular of, na if ever I do, yung mentality ko nun, no? If ever I do make the decision, gusto ko no bridges burned. I don't want to ruin any relationships. Alam naman natin na ang daming nangyayari ngayon sa industriya. So, I want it to be as smooth as possible na walang bad feelings, nothing negative. I would want, of course, everyone to be on the same page. So, kaya din siguro nagkaroon ng kaunting tagal dahil I want the turnover process to be, I wanted, and thankfully everyone also were very supportive of it. I wanted the turnover process to be very smooth, na walang aberya, and true enough, yun lang yan.
Ilang taon na yung limitless mo?
4 years now.
4 years na.
4 years na.
More about it? Ano yung mga project na nagawa nyo na?
Okay, so Limitless started actually as just a collective of creatives who just loved shooting. Yun yung una niya. No? So back in 2015 actually, we consider 2016 the start of the business dahil dun siya naging profitable. So no 2015, hobby. Talaga we would travel, we'd just keep shooting dahil yun ang hilig namin. So we started it with a group of friends. Pero in 2016, we were faced with an opportunity to actually profit from it. So yung napagpuhunan namin na experience, equipment, tsaka yung work experience namin in terms of the video reel that we had, ginamit namin siya to attract clients, and thankfully we were able to land a lot of clients during our first year. The bigger chunk of our 2016-2017 work experience was with Philippine Airlines. So we were trusted a bunch of digital projects with them. Nung panahon na yun yung kasagsagan talaga ng digital switch, no, in the advertising industry. Doon naramdaman ng Pilipinas. Siyempre nauna sa US, nauna sa ibang bansa. Pero noong 2015-2016, as in sobrang nag-boom, as in lahat, everything was being produced left and right for digital, and all companies were scrambling to adjust to the digital era. Philippine Airlines was one of the companies who started venturing out into digital production and getting smaller creative houses for their digital content. So meron pa rin silang ahensya para sa mga commercial, para sa malalaking mga projects, pero those projects that were little, sa amin napunta. We were awarded with it. So, doon nag-start yung totoong business. After nun, ang tagal namin talagang kinapa because we had no experience of running a business eh. Lahat kami creatives pero walang negosyante. So, ayun, fast forward to now, so far so good dahil we transitioned into ang gusto namin kasing path, no, is to create effective videos for brands, but are more into the narrative experience. So dahil yung background namin is mas film, so right now most of us are studying screenwriting. Ako personally, I started studying with si Sir Ricky prior to the pandemic. So in the future, mas doon na yung takbo namin. Ang pangarap namin, syempre, is to produce a feature film. Mas into feature film production, yes, that's the dream. Pero syempre, kailangan tumakbo ng negosyo. So right now, we're more catered to doing work for clients. So ang mga current clientele namin, they hire us to produce short films for their brands. So short films, music videos. Pero we also have an animation arm kasi. So meron kaming arm na animation na hindi ako masyadong involved kasi hindi ako animator eh. So mas sila yun. They cater also to corporate clients. So syempre to keep the business.
Showbiz na kasali dyan?
Wala. Wala akong tiga showbiz na partner. Though I've collaborated with some who were also in showbiz. Pero walang nasa board na showbiz.
Yun. Tapos, can you tell us naman, when did your love affair with coffee started?
Coffee, oh my God. I can go all day talking about it. It started really, I started drinking coffee kasi when I started working. So I've never been a coffee fanatic right until I needed it to wake up. So dati, syempre, it's the usual Starbucks Frappuccino. Nung bata ako, yun yung na hindi naman, talagang kape dahil it's mostly sugar. So, I started falling in love with coffee siguro around 2013-14 nung nagsimula akong mag-try ng home brewing. So, yung home brewing experience is brewing your own coffee at home with beans that you purchase, and then beans that you grind, and beans that you brew using all these sorts of brewing equipment. I remember my first brewing equipment was the AeroPress. So yung AeroPress, it's a quite popular brewing tool that is inexpensive. Nasa 1/8 lang siya. And it would last you for years, no? Which I still use until now. That same AeroPress is still with me. It was actually only the AeroPress for a long time. So, lagi lang akong AeroPress. I would buy beans everywhere. Lahat nung mapuntahan ko na coffee shop, bibiling ko yung pinaka-popular nila. Lalo na itong time na to, they call it the third wave of coffee. I know this because nag-aral na ako. Eventually kasi nag-aral ako ng kape sa Coffee Academy. So they call it the third wave coffee dahil yung second wave were the lattes. So second wave, yun yung Starbucks, Coffee Bean, yun yung mga coffee shops na mas milk-based ang drinks. So yung third wave is more of the alternative brewing through usually black coffee. Tapos it's experiencing all these extremely different flavors which I never thought were actually possible with coffee. Right now, yung mga coffee beans ko dito, believe it or not, some of my coffee beans here at home actually taste like mango. They taste like jackfruit. The one I was drinking kanina was a bit savory. It had a bit of, saltiness to it. So I knew all this because I started becoming passionate lang talaga this year. I started really learning about it this year. Noong January, I told Gabby, sabi ko, it started actually, tinanong niya ako, what's your birthday wish? Sabi niya, what do you want to do for your birthday? Hindi kasi kami masyadong maregalo. Ako, sobrang maregalo ako kay Gab. Pero si Gab, hindi kami masyadong mag-gift. We like experiencing things more rather than material things. So sabi ko, sige, for my birthday, matagal ko na masyadong dinilay ito. I want to learn coffee. So, in-enroll niya ako. Together with her also, she enrolled the both of us into coffee. Pero siya, hindi niya masyadong na-apply kasi mas tea person siya. So, hindi ko in-expect na grabe yung short course. Dahil it's from the agricultural, factor of it the agricultural relevance of coffee in the Philippines. Yung nalaman ko lahat na, oh my God, the Philippines used to be one of the top producers of coffee in the world. And so,
Level up, hindi ka na lang mag-brew, magkaroon ka na rin ng plantation.
Yun nga. So parang, nung nag-start ako, I just really wanted to try naman different coffee Pero naging, dahil dun sa, ang passionate din ng teacher namin, si Sir Robert, he made me realize na, coffee is actually a really big part of Filipino culture. So right now, nitong pandemic, dahil nandito ako sa bahay, doon ako nakapag-eksperimento. Grabe, as in, araw-araw, yun lang ginawa ko almost the whole quarantine.
Is it a skill, yung mag-brew?
It's a skill that is very easily learned, really. Anyone can really do it. When it gets too technical, sometimes it's too technical and others wouldn't, recommend, excuse me, being super precise and super technical. Siguro pagka gusto mo maging copper. They call them coppers eh. Yung nagre-rate ng coffee. May mga ganun, doon ko lang nalaman na meron palang nagsuscore ng coffee around the world. Kung hindi ka naman ganun, hindi naman kailangan. Syempre, you would need the proper techniques and the fundamentals. Pero, it's easy to learn. YouTube lang. YouTube, matututo ka. You would just need the right equipment. And they're right now inexpensive. Some, or just, you could brew a extremely good cup of coffee with a V60. They call it a V60 plastic lang siya. 500 pesos lang siya online. So, very accessible siya.
So, pag nasa ibang bahay ka, mahirap kang alokin ng kape.
Ngayon, usually, pagka pupunta ako sa ibang bahay, pinapadala sa akin yung kape. Sabi ko, dalan mo naman kami ng kape, gawan mo kami dito. So actually, meron akong parang travel kit na ginawa. Na medyo mas yung mga hindi mabasagin na mga equipment na pwede kong dalhin anywhere. I bring it to work, I brew there. Naging hobby ko na rin siya. Kasi syempre, parang nakakatuwa din makita yung ibang tao na realize nila, grabe, may ganito palang kape. Kasi ang common knowledge, all coffee, they just taste bitter. Lagyan mo ng asukal, tsaka ng creamer, medyo okay na siya, na pwede na sa panlasa ng Pinoy. Pero ang daming tasting notes na talagang ang galing.
Ibang klase ka rin ma-fall. Bagay. Parang may addictive personality. Pag nagustuhan mo isang bagay, hindi ka tumitigil.
Oo. May ganun ako. Once I really get into it, it's what I did with coffee and with cameras, with photography, with acting. Na hindi ko naman talagang pangarap gawin ng bata. Pero once I get into it, talagang very nag-explore yung utak ko eh. So sobrang interesado ako sa mga ganun.
Yung YouTube mo, ang wallpaper mo, yung mata mo. Anong kulay yan talaga? How do you call that?
It's a really light brown. So, ewan ko if they call it hazel. Ewan ko kung makita mo siya here. Pero, namana ko siya kay Mommy. Si Mommy, mas light pa ang kanyang mata. So, it's kind of what they call a trademark ko. A lot of people say it's my best asset. Ginawa ko siyang cover photo kasi nga that's what a lot of people know me as, no? As someone who has very expressive eyes and yun nga, parang naging trademark siya. So, buti na lang, magandang mata ng mami ko.
Yung ibang may crush sa'yo, ang gusto sa'yo yung lips.
Madami din actually nagsasabi yung lips na medyo makapal.
Dahil may nanalo na, alin mas gusto ni Gab sa'yo? Lips or eyes?
Mata.
Tade.
Si Gab, mata talaga. Oo. From before pa, she would say na nangungusap yung mata.
Did your parents, got your name from Khalil Gibran book, The Prophet? Talaga?
Yes, The Prophet. I was able to read some excerpts from it. Yung mga pinabasa lang sa akin ng parents ko dati. Pero kaya Khalil ako dahil nung nasa tiyan pa ako ng mami ko, well, before pa naman daw, favorite na ng daddy ko, si Khalil Gibran. Pero parang weeks before, I think, my birth, he was awarded a posthumous award. Not sure if it's the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not sure, pero it's a big award that was on the news. No? So they decided to name me that. Aside from the uniqueness of the name, yun, fan sila sa work ni Khalil Gibran.
Solid yung book na yun.
Oo nga, yeah.
Tawag dito, show na In the Limelight, sinabi mo na gusto mong sa island tumira. Water, ka ba? Person?
Ewan ko kung dahil sa, nature ng pagiging Pinoy, dahil halos lahat tayo, di ba? We're in an archipelago. Eh. So we're always drawn to the island life, the water. not a super water person, but I've always been attracted to the island life. A lot of actually maraming mga celebrities that recently nag-adapt to the island life. Naalala ko nun si Andy Eigenman. Before she moved to Siargao, nakatrabaho ko siya for a short film. And she was talking about, grabe moving to Siargao. Talking about the island life. Tsaka nung pumunta din ako sa Siargao, naramdaman ko yung pagka-laid back. Very peaceful. The community is so much, so rich. Just the culture is so rich, and it's something that I would definitely love to be part of. Pero, as someone retired, I don't think kaya ko siya ngayon or anytime soon dahil syempre, I would want to make the most out of my life pa. Dami ko pang gustong gawin. It's something that we also, kind of share kami ni Gabby, parang in the future. Minsan kino-contest niya, Pwede siguro parang ayaw niya pa rin kasi kung halimbawa, kung sakaling kami yung magkatuloy in the future, if ever our family and we wanna raise kids, ayaw niya sa isla yung mga bata kasi wala silang kaibigan. Diba? Sobrang mga islander sila. So syempre, it's a dream lang, pero in terms of feasibility, something that I'm yet to realize pa in the future.